been for him. Trying to turn it around. Use of a sports psychologist and looking there for the scout across the deck. Won't get the help on number 10.
This is a real fast messenger, and it goes right in front. We saw a lot of that happen at the bowling stadium in the last couple of weeks.
He's here the 10-pin in the mark for Paul Fleming. And now it's to Brad Angelo, who's had a great year on tour in terms of the points. Match play, as you mentioned, so consistent. Last year's Rookie of the Year, though. Still bidding for his first ever title. He's 34. Very good amateur career for Brad Angelo from Western New York near Buffalo. In addition to his first victory on tour, looking for his first TV win. Very deliberate. And a good start for Brad Angelo. Which leads us, Randy, to the Baby Ruth Real Deal matchup.
Thank you, Dave. Look at this average here, about 8 or 9 pins a game higher. Strike percentage, what that means is basically he throws, or this week he threw about 7 strikes for every 10 frames. Brad Angelo out-averaged the entire field, and by round, I mean, this is sick. 262, the round of 16. He went 4-0, 4-0 in his first 2 rounds. The only guy to win a couple of games from Brad Angelo, our very own Dale Ballard Jr.
On lane 9, more magic.
Double.
For Brad Angelo. Off to a very good start.
Brad Angelo, 5-step or 4 steps with a stutter step, just a timing step. But Del Ballard and I talked about this before the show today, about Brad Angelo and when his ball hits the pocket. We both agree nobody strikes like Brad Angelo when he gets it going on our tour.
Back to Paul Fleming, and he's got 10 down in the pin as well.
Paul Fleming also a fairly easy road to the telecast, only losing 3 games and shutting out Peter Hernandez in the round of 8.
12-3 match play record, 227.15 average for Fleming en route to the TV show today. He met and started working with a sports psychologist here in Reno. Trying to get his thought process in order. And as he mentioned to us last night, Randy feels like it's in a much better mode right now.
Working with Dean Hinnitz, who works with several players out here, including Chris Barnes, Lonnie Wallachek, and basically got Paul to just try to stay out of his own way. He has a tendency to overthink it. This week, he got Paul to have only one thought at a time before each and every shot. That's real important. I mean, you start getting all these thoughts going on, it's hard to get from point A to point B and let go of it the same way twice.
And that thought, as we'll explain, continuous feet. We'll break that down when Paul resumes action in the semifinal. What a deliberate approach and delivery for Angelo. But it all pays off for the Western New Yorker.
And speaking of an easy road, there's what we talked about. Our guy Del Ballard was fortunate enough to take Brad to 6 games and really challenge him. But aside from that, he had a pretty easy cakewalk to get to this point. When you average 250, 260 in match play, you're going to be really hard to beat.
2 match play losses for Brad, that's it.
Watch this hand at the bottom of the swing.
10-pin lead. 10 more.
Make that Fleming, right?
4-bagger to start for Brad Angelo and a 20-pin advantage.
When a player has the kind of success on the tour that Brad Angelo has had, other players watch real close and try to figure out what he's doing. And guess what? We can't figure it out. Something about his ball roll and the way it enters the pocket creates unbelievable pin carry for Brad Angelo.
That was good pin action we saw from our crew there. Fleming down goes to 7 late. And he is in a 10-pin hole head-to-head with Angelo.
And no big surprise that Paul Fleming is on the show. He was a former player of the year rookie of the year, as was Brad Angelo. This year, the rookie of the year race being controlled handily by Chris Johnson.
Seen him on 2 shows. Toledo, Long Island. Almost took his first ever title in his TV debut, but Steve just won on the bench that day. On this day, Fleming is staying hot. Evens things up. 4-bagger.
I think Paul got away with one here. Looked like he got it in just a pinch. He said hold, and it does. And he's doing exactly what he needs to do to Brad Angelo. Keep striking.
3rd TV show of the year for Angelo in Omaha. Saw him again in Medford, and now here he is on the same pattern in Reno at the PBA Reno Open. He stays red hot. He told us before the broadcast today he was just hoping to make 1 show in each half of the season. He's already been able to exceed that.
Well, as good as Brad Angelo's bowling, I think his expectations or his goals are a little low. One thing I really like about Brad Angelo is you watch that follow through, it goes straight at the target. Hand, elbow, follow through, going straight in the direction he wants to throw it.
What a start. Front 5 for Brad Angelo. 10-pin lead. Fleming does have a 4-bagger, so he's just down by 10 pins right now. Six-bagger, front 6 for Angelo. Does he have it? Some late help. Yes, he does. Nick Torbanemi has the only 300 game on TV this year in Connecticut. Maybe Brad Angelo's turn next. We'll find out. In this very building last Sunday, Walter Williams Jr. won the ABC Masters in exciting fashion. Now it's the PBA Reno Open, and so far, Randy, in this semifinal, it's very tight. Breakdown through 6.
Only 1 spare. 10 strikes, 1 spare. Paul Fleming has to keep striking.
Walter Ray won his 6th major here last Sunday. Paul Fleming just takes 1 title. Come on, look out.
4-9.
Wanted some late help on the 9. Didn't get it.
Well, unfortunately, I know it's only the 6th frame, but this might be the end for Paul Fleming. 4-9 on a 4-bagger. Brad Angelo doesn't look like he's going to miss any time within the next month.
You see the split numbers. Trying to raise the percentage here. Come on!
Oh,
trying to kick it over until the 9 cannot get it done.
Paul Fleming in our Dexter approach has been working with Mark Baker on doing one thing real important. That's keeping his push away nice and level. This is what I think makes him so great. 35 years of age. Look at the knee bend. Try doing that 80 or 90 times at home for a week. That creates this unbelievable ball rotation down the lane. And right now, Paul needs to get that same rotation working and strike out to have any chance, in my opinion, in this match.
It's got to happen now for Paul Fleming.
Not going anywhere. Opening.
7th frame here. Looking for the front 7. Just want an opportunity for Brad Angelo. Lots of money on the line. Michelle, his wife, watches closely. Cambridge Credit Counseling sponsoring a bonus of $10,000 for the first player on TV to start a match with 9 in a row. Make it 7 straight. Now, if that player goes on to roll a 300 game, the bonus will be doubled to more than a total of $20,000. The bonus will be available each week the rest of the season, thanks to our friends from Cambridge Credit Counseling.
Brad Angelo taking a re-rack, front 7. Gather himself. I like this. I think this is a good move. Del Ballard's nodding his head. He thinks it's a good move. Gather yourself. Make a good shot here. A lot of money on the line. Cambridge Credit Counseling with their bonus, the PBA's bonus if there's a 300. This one game could be worth $30,000. Not to mention the fact that if he wins, he's going to the title match for the first time in his career.
His first ever TV win, so tremendous amount at stake here. Former PBA Rookie of the Year. Is he ever focused? 10 pin, stays up.
Wow. But just as we talked about how great his carry was, this ball here, you can't throw it any better, and he leaves a big-time ring in 10. But that's right. He's got the match in hand. All he has to do is mark out. He's going to be in. Well, excuse me. I shouldn't say that. He needs a mark here to keep himself at a 259 pace.
All right. 10-pin for Angelo takes care of that. Tonight, Chris Berman, Tom Jackson have all the highlight stories, player and coach interviews, and more from the Super Bowl. Live from the Super Bowl in Houston on NFL Primetime, presented by Miller Lite, 10:30 Eastern Time, or immediately following the game. For more, log on to ESPN.com.
Paul Fleming has a possible 256. He needs them all.
43 pins, he's down. Make it 33 with a double 7th and 8th frame for Fleming.
Stranger things have happened on this tour this season. Reverting back to Lonnie Wallachek's struggles last couple of weeks. Paul Fleming with a strike here, 3 in the 10th, shoots 256. Brad Angelo, strike, spare, strike, he would win.
So to break down Paul Fleming, TV pair. Got to keep the streak going here.
Come on.
Foundation frame.
What time?
Urges the big strike.
What time?
Well, right when he lets go of this, you can see him just kind of grit his teeth, and this ball is threaded perfectly. Think he wanted that one? You betcha.
An unusual week for Paul Fleming, too. Almost had to withdraw because of a neck injury. Stiff neck he had in qualifying. Gutted it out, made it through. Now he's head-to-head with Angelo here on TV. Close the door here.
All right, well, you heard him. Looking to close the door with a strike here. That'll be the end of Paul Fleming. Michelle doesn't look nervous at all.
Their kids, Dylan, almost 3 years old. Brielle, who's 8 months. Spending a lot of time with Brad on tour. Separate hotel rooms, though, to make sure Brad gets his rest. Hey, you've got to be 100%, especially this year with so much on the line on the PBA Tour.
That's it. Roll, baby.
Wow.
Right. 4-pin.
You heard him yell, roll, baby. I'm surprised that ball didn't roll up flush. That ball scooted down the lane just a pinch. This could have been a pocket split real easy. Right there, it makes its turn. We've seen real unusual splits at the bowling stadium in Reno over the past 2 weeks. Right now, he needs a spare and 8 pins, and he's a winner.
Now let's go here.
That's the spare part of
One
it.
more shot.
8 pins.
Do your job here.
All right. A big goal about to be realized for Brad Angelo. First ever PBA TV win. He knows what he needs.
It's
A
not.
winner.
7-pin up, won't matter. A victory for Brad Angelo. His wife Michelle, very pleased to see that. First time in his PBA career he wins on TV. So he's off now to the finals. Gretzer Koivu-Nemi in the other semifinals. See who takes on last year's Rookie of the Year.